Hi everyone, happy Wisdom Wednesday. So I'm here today to talk a little bit about some really major revelations I've had in terms of managing triggering comments from other people, conflict and conflict resolution, and the ways that we can really bring peace into the world. And it may not be what you think it is. So today I just wanted to talk about an experience I had the other day with someone, and it was a comment they made about me, and it was a very quick comment, something that normally maybe 2 years ago would have really triggered me. And they made this comment, and it was about the way I lead my life and my lifestyle, and it was a judgmental comment. And I was able to, in this moment, use all of the practices that I've been trained in, I guess, and been wanting to use them. And it was a really, really amazing moment. It was not a very long moment, but it was really amazing. So this person just said, "Hey, you're really this." And I was just able to look at them right away, and I put my hand close to their heart, and I said, "That's yours. That's not mine. That doesn't belong to me. And you own that. And I don't own that." And it was just this incredible, I was calm, I was confident. Like there was an assuredness running through me that I haven't felt in a context like that in, I don't know if ever, or a very long time. It was like there was another spirit or energy running through me. Now, often when these kinds of things happen, I've had an experience like this before. I've talked a little bit in my videos about some of the anger I work with, and how anger can be a really challenging emotion for me. And I've had some experiences where I believe in guides. I believe we all have guides in the unseen world, where I think my guides were kind of helping me along to really deal with my inner child who's angry, and to talk to her and work with her in a very calm, confident, assured way. And this was the same idea, except it was in relationship with someone, and it was really powerful. And the person just looked at me like eyes wide, couldn't even talk. They didn't even know what to say. And it was a really enlightening moment for them as well. It was like, wow, that's how conflict resolution happens. Like they were so amazed. And it really, you could see this quick transformation in them. And shout out to Matt Kahn, because Matt Kahn talks about these kinds of ways of relating with people, of staying calm, of just kind of giving it back to someone and saying, and turning it around and saying, hey, that's not me. And a lot of the reasons why Matt Kahn can stay so calm and work, and deal with conflict in such a calm way is because he's confident, and he talks about that a lot. I think the more that we move past energies of self-doubt and self-deprecation and lack of self-worth, the more we can step into our deep-rooted sense of confidence in who we are that's unshakable. And I think the more we practice that and the more we believe that every single day as our practice, the easier it is when we get into conflict with other people, that we can just say, nope, that's your projection. And that's the other thing I said to this person is, that's your projection of me. I'm not that. I know exactly who I am, and it's okay that you think that, but that's not me. And I think the more we just have a really strong sense of who we are, what we want, where we're going in life, it's a lot easier to travel through those and navigate those conflicts and those quick microaggressions where someone throws something in your face and you can just say, okay, cool. And what I really want to share with you guys is this image of almost like a serving platter. And someone is going to serve you their triggering comments and their projections of you. And they're going to say, here, take it. And that's what they're doing when they make those comments. Here, I take it. I want you to have it. It's like, no, that's not a gift. And that's not something I want to take or receive. So I'm going to receive it and then give it back. And just see it in front of me and then just say, here you go. You can have that. You can have that back and you can keep that and I want you to enjoy that. I want you to have that and be with that and understand that that's not mine. And there's so much in this world that is given to us that we think is ours to hold on to and we think it's ours to take on, especially if we're really tuned into our empathic heart, that we think it's ours and it's not. A lot of the thoughts you even have are not yours. They're thoughts that are in the collective, that are around you, that other people around you are having, but they're not yours and you don't need to own them. So I think this conversation is really just revolving around ownership and owning what it is that's yours and not owning and disowning the stuff that you really don't need to take on. And you don't need to take on what's not yours. And I think this also brings me back to this idea of what's peaceful. And people often think that like the way to get peaceful in this world is to go march on the streets and get out there. And that's okay too. Like, I don't think that there's anything actually wrong with protesting, but I think also for people to understand that a big part of peace in this world and living peacefully is in the way we interact with each other on a daily basis. It's in the way that we love ourselves. It's the way that we tune into our own. Imagine confidence is peaceful. Confidence is a very peaceful energy. And we, if we can learn to all deal with our triggers, if we could all learn to interact with those around us who we love and we care about in a very peaceful way without getting too triggered and living in a sovereign way, we would have a very, very peaceful world. So I just want to remind you today that if you're ever triggered and ever someone comes up to you and says, hey, do you know that you do this or you're that? Just remember, you know what you are. You can choose to receive it. Maybe it is something you want to receive and say, hey, I'm going to receive that compliment. Thank you. Thank you. I am that. But you don't have to if it's really not something that resonates and just that's yours. Because I think it's also important to know that we want to be careful when it's also feedback, and it might be something that we do need to look at, and it's something that we do need to, a behavioral change. I think as long as we're open to our own change and our own evolution and revolution, that we don't need to receive other people's stuff. I think it's also not spiritual bypassing of saying, no, it's all yours and I'm never going to change. There's also that going on too, where people just don't want to own their own ways that are harmful. So also we want to be in tune with that. But more often than not, I think anyone's triggering comments that they throw at you are not yours to take on. So that's my Wednesday wisdom for this week. I hope that supports you. I'd love to hear your comments. You can send those on over to me, and I hope you have a very beautiful week.